Welcome to the FPL USA Press Play Podcast. We're also now a YouTube, so we're not just the audio, but we're also the all-around content hub of your FPL USA dreams. I'm Bucks, joined by my partner in crime, Brian. Say howdy.
Just hanging out here in the 5 to 8 million range in FPL, but we're going to break down all the things that you need to know ahead of game week 5.
Absolutely true. I mean, it's pretty cozy up here. Expectations are light. True. The air
easier
is
to get a green arrow.
Well, maybe we should just dive headfirst into the shallow end because at least one of us ends up on a green arrow. Brian, this is perfect time. I know you spent a lot of last season gloating. Why don't we start this season off with some humble brags from you, my friend?
Oh, nothing to humble here. I got 66 points this game week, and it was off to a decent start, but my forward line has just been mucking it up each and every game week. Good Lord. I don't think I've gotten a single return from one of my strikers this season, so that will lead to a bad rank overall in FPL. I had Sanchez in goal for 2, LaCroix, who was my transfer in for De Kuiper. That felt fucking great to bring in LaCroix.
I was going to say,
that sixer.
Success!
And then see, of course, my Semenyo guy take his penalty against Brighton. Oh, you love to see it. But before I get to that, Pedro Porro 6, Anderson with a big 10-pointer for just doing his job. And that is what you love to see from a 4.5 defender. Just straight up like doing DEFCON, getting 2 bonus, getting a clean sheet. Like, fantastic. Mo Salah cap for a very cheeky 9-pointer. So 18 points total. Undeserving, once again. But that's why he plays every single minute of every single match for Liverpool. Semenyo, 13-pointer. Then Verts, 3. Bruno, 2. Reinders, 3. And then it gets even worse. Watkins 2 and Chris Wood 1. So a bit dicey here from a few of my picks. I think you and I are both on Verts and Watkins, and it couldn't be any Verts. That's for sure.
Yeah, it hurts. It's Verts. It's not good. I'm in the unfortunate situation of on a back of a big red arrow. I end up on 52 points. The good of my game week was Salah cap. I mean, listen, he didn't look the part for 94 odd minutes. But once again, he gets the extra time return. So he's on the pitch constantly and he has many routes to goals. But open play wise, Salah looks far off it. I mean, I just compared to the way he was in massive form last season from the opening start pretty much all the way through the festive fixtures, he could not look like a more different player at this point to start this season.
I mean, Liverpool just are not clicking from an attacking perspective. I wouldn't say that any of their players, I mean, they've had like 1 decent match out of 4.
Yeah, it's perspective. They're getting results. And at the end of the day, when we compare FPL to kind of our home football sport, which is the NFL, the good teams just find ways to win and the bad teams find ways to snatch defeat and snatch draws from the jaws of victory, so to speak. So,
oh, man. Bucks.
My team's very simple. Salah cap gets a return. I got a João Pedro return, Pedro Porro, and Munoz. That's it. And it's really unfortunate because, the way I've been using transfers, I brought in Sarr for Palmer. Then we see Palmer get on the pitch only to, instantaneously get a return. And
his first I brought in Chris Wood. Goal in ages.
I brought in Chris Wood. I had such lofty expectations for that transfer. I gave him the armband. Then he doesn't even make it to the 59th minute. He gets hooked at 58 minutes in the first game under Ange. Ugh. So starting to be a little bit of panic setting in for my FPL team. Even if I am maybe a million spots above you in the ranks, which of course we should just caveat means absolutely nothing at this point in the season. You agree with there?
I mean, if you're in the top 1 million, you're feeling pretty confident. So we have a lot of work to do.
Fair,
but
that's fair. Let alone the top 10K. You're like, oh, yeah, I'm pretty good at this.
Neither of us have used a single chip yet, so we'll hopefully get some gains. I'm already thinking about wildcard. I think we had a few #FPL community questions to discuss on that later on. So there's a lot of room for growth, but it ain't fun to be this high in the overall ranks, and obviously inflated by all the chip usage. But I'm definitely jealous of those people who have spiked some of their chips. Like people who wildcarded in game week 4, super fortunate because I saw teams with maybe 5-6 clean sheets just starting. I saw a couple of Christmas tree formations, upside down Christmas tree formations, and just clean sheets galore, like double ups on Palace, double ups on Arsenal. Even saw a couple Popes in goal, and I was just like, man, these people cleaned up, 20, 25 points plus the average. So there's hopeful times for us ahead when we hopefully spike the same thing. But lots of clean sheets, and off the back of international break where we saw some surprise people benched. People are traveling from all over the world to get back to their domestic league competitions, and the football it was mids for sure.
We should just double click on that for 1 second because, diving into the data and just looking at the kind of results in the fixture ticker from the opening 4 game weeks, the amount of clean sheets are way up, like statistically significantly so. And again, I'm not a math nerd or a math major, and I'm not an analytics manager. But when you just look at it, there's already been a handful of 0-0 results. And I think there's like 35 clean sheets that have happened already through 4 game weeks. Last season, no, that has to be wrong. Anyway, there's a shit ton of clean sheets that have happened so far this season. And just on average, there's almost like, I think, like a half a goal less per game. So just so far with the DEFCON, maybe the DEFCON promise of getting, 2 free points from a whole lot of defenders is not coming true. But defenders in general, their value to the FPL game and to the savvy FPL manager, way up, like extraordinarily so. And for that, to mention that, we also should say defensive midfielders are just crushing it right now so far this season. I mean, we have Zubamendi. He was the top point scorer in game week 4. He got a brace, 16
Fantastic
points with the clean sheet. That's
goal.
insane. Caicedo, he's on, I think, 2 returns so far through 4 game weeks. And then we also saw Polina maybe 2 weeks ago also get a massive double-digit return. So that's just a way of saying that this FPL season is so different from the previous iteration of the game. And yeah, it's hard on us because I think, picking Caicedo and Polina just feels gross. But there are managers who are bold enough to do it, and they're reaping the rewards. They're laughing at us from, the top of the mountain. We're all the way down in the sewage system.
I mean, Caicedo, Corazzo, he's got 2 goals in 4 matches. That's not going to keep pace.
Maybe it's
for the
not
rest
sustainable,
of the season,
but the guy is
still,
he's like so quick to DEFCON, and then, as soon as he gets that attack and return, pretty much he's getting 3 bonus. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let's see, at 17, DEFCON, 23, 7, and 12. So he's hit it 3 out of 4. So a lot of people who are like, why would you ever go for somebody like that? He's proving the haters wrong early doors. But overall, I just think that the value in, again, like Anderson at Fulham just does his fucking job, headers the ball away, boots it into the stands a few times, and then got some bonus, and you're looking at a 10-pointer. Like, that's crazy. Think about your 4.5 pounds, probably 5th midfielder or Gooey Man. Gooey Man would have to get a goal and assist.
They're never getting 10 points.
It's never going to come close to it. So,
and it's worth mentioning, I think your point is spot on, that they're just doing their job. Nothing extraordinary.
Exactly.
Nothing out of the ordinary. And what's nice about players like Anderson, who you just brought up, is even when it doesn't go right? Like Fulham, they concede 2 goals. He's still getting the DEFCON. So really, even when he doesn't have a sterling performance or the team around him is not doing quite up to par with him just doing his job, he's getting 4 points. And 4 points goes a long way. I mean, listen, if Ollie Watkins would get me 4 points one of these game weeks, I would party naked in the streets of Brooklyn. I mean, it's crazy. The amount of returns that you're just desperate for these premium attackers to get. The 4.5 defenders are lapping up the points.
Yeah, and there's just so many good options at decent teams at the 4.5. Like, you have Anderson, Chris Richards coming off an 8-pointer, VDV, Oh my god, I'm eating my
Senesi.
fucking hat with VDV. You comes up and plays striker in that match to hit that ball. I'm like, why are you so far
Hold that
advanced
L,
forward?
Brian. Hold that L.
Oh
I
my
can't
god,
believe what
it's
the
crazy. It's
slander you were
crazy.
throwing this young man's way in
I know.
preseason.
It's
And
usually made of glass, but apparently Frank's got his medical staff right coming over from Brentford and applying it to VDV. But we're seeing them get Champions League clean sheets too. So Tottenham is definitely a team on the rise for the rest of this year. And I think most people at Manchester United would be very jealous of the start that we've seen under Thomas Frank for the Spuds.
they would be jealous of all the teams in the Premier League based on the table since Amarin came in. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just quickly shout out the Game Week 4 average, 63 points. So you beat it. I felt quite short of that. And the manager of the game week, again, our little content hub here in the FPL USA community, we're running a free-to-enter prize mini league. You can find
That's
it
right.
wherever you play the FPL game. It's PELL04, all lowercase PELL04. It's called the
That's
FPL
right.
USA Press Play Palooza. And we're going to shout out the top score each and every game week. And we're also sending free kits to the winner and cash prizes to the cup winner. So definitely worth getting involved. Join 360 of your soon-to-be new best friends in our mini league.
Yeah, you can. If you're watching on YouTube, you can use the code just above here at the top of the screen, and Bucks has shouted it out. And this week, the manager of the game week is FPL Mickey on a 94-point free hit.
Yeah, let's give a little golf
impressive
clap. That's Mikulas Josha. I think they might be
nice job
Turkish. I'm going to give myself a little, arrogant American pat on the back for that pronunciation there.
Go through this man's back line. Oh my goodness, this is what dreams are made of when you free hit and you just clean the life away.
A wet dream, so to speak. Yep. I think, 5 double-digit returns in the starting 11. Salah cap, Van de Ven, Holland, Semenyo, and Anderson all get double-digit returns.
Big time.
And then they have the Raya in goal, Munoz. I mean, there are just points everywhere in this team.
Yep.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Impressive.
Bravo to you, FPL Mickey.
Very much just what you hope for when you free hit, to score 25 to 30 points above the average. Like, that's something that we're all hoping to spike. But like I said, it's very rare to see so many top picks get clean sheets in 1 week. I thought that was super interesting to think about, and especially when we go to the next international break, which I believe is game week 8.
Exactly.
Like I might want to play an extra defender that week, just thinking that people are going to be leggy and coming back from their world travels, and maybe some early substitutions for players, and the defensive assets deliver the points again.
Yeah, and it's good that you brought up game week 8, because after the game week 8 deadline, we will officially be closing this free to enter league. So again, if you have some friends that you're competing against in a work league, or you just want to spice up your FPL involvement this season, please join us. Again, it costs you nothing. PELL04. We'd love to break through 500 managers in the league this season. It'll make for a really fun cup come the festive fixtures. And again, the top 3 finishers are going to get free Premier League kits of their choosing. Now, I just want to give a quick tease, because we will be showcasing this on social, but I did just send out a beautiful 3rd Liverpool kit in that nice
is that the teal?
Blue teal. Yeah,
yeah.
It's a classy,
crisp.
It's heading all the way out to the Netherlands. So shout out Max, our winner from last season. He finished inside the top 25. And so he will be getting a beautiful new addition to his Premier League wardrobe.
Top 25. That's absolutely
you were almost there, Brian. Almost.
Yeah. I went for it. But
yeah, I love it.
All right. Let's transition here and kind of recap a few of the matches that were over the weekend. And especially waking up and having just 5 matches on Goal Zone here in the US all at the same time. It's fun when there's that many matches, but so many of them were 0-0s. They're pretty quiet on the goal front. But first, let's talk about Arsenal defeating Nottingham Forest.
We both have
3-0.
kids now, so like the mornings are very different. But let me just rewind the clock in an imaginary universe where I was still just me and my wife, Evelyn. she would have been fast asleep, into the first window of games. She would have been loving life. I would have brought her home a coffee. And then she probably would have woken up to me fast asleep in that first half of fixtures in kind of that second window. There's so many games on, and yet I'm like, is any team going to do anything here? I'm on the goal rush.
Slow moving.
It was so slow. It was such a slog. So thankfully, Arsenal did pour in some goals for us. They dominate Nottingham Forest 3-0. This is the first game of Ange returning to the sideline in the Premier League. He's now taken over for Nuno. And Arsenal just whooped them left, right, and center. It was the lowest XG game for Nottingham Forest in the past 2 seasons in the Premier League. It was a debacle. Arsenal were home. Again, they didn't have a lot of time to train under the new manager. So, that was not a good game week to be a Nottingham Forest supporter for sure.
Yeah, and this is something that, when the game came out, I had Gabriel nailed in my team. And then over the course of evaluating the fixtures, it was like, they're not really that good. These teams might, buck up and do pretty well. And, they're a Szoboszlai goal away from even more
4
points.
out of 4 clean sheets. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one is definitely something I'm going to rectify on my wild card. Like,
Brian, do you agree with this statement that Arsenal have the best defense in the game? I mean, not just in the Premier League, in world football.
We started Champions League today and they win 2-0, but I, with my little tinkering team, I'm tripled up on Arsenal defense in UCL fantasy because I think the defense travels. That travels really well. And yeah, I think now that they have so much depth as well, so you have Calafiori playing a lot, you have Timber playing, and then you got some, Ben White off the bench, Mascara's looking all right, subbing in for Saliba. They just have so much tenacity on defense, and then more depth in the midfield with Zubamendi coming in. So it's a really impressive defense. So
yeah, for me, I don't even think it's close. I mean, I think they're so head and shoulders above the rest of defenses, and yeah, it can make for some really boring watches when they just decide to like close out a game. But defense tends to win in the long haul. It's really hard to just repeat scoring 3 and 4 goals each and every game. So Arsenal seem to have the right alchemy so far this season.
Yeah, and they're coming up on their fixture turn coming up here, like starting game week 7. Yeah. Game week 7 onwards. West Ham at home, Fulham away, Crystal Palace at home, Burnley, Sunderland. I mean, that's a big, massive run of 5 fixtures that you're really going to be having at least a double up, maybe a triple up on Arsenal assets, I would assume. Especially, I put all this money into players like Wirtz and Watkins, and man, I wish I just would have had Gabriel, who's just, tripling them up for points. Brutal.
So whereas, Arsenal are the good, right now there's some less good. And I just want to quickly talk about Villa because Villa are a team that they have not scored a goal through 4 game weeks. And I am tripled up on them. I am the biggest idiot in the FPL content creation universe. I have Watkins, Rodgers, and Konza. And yet there are teams in the beer leagues, the Sunday leagues, in the 7th division of the UK pyramid, and they have goals, and Aston Villa with top goal scorers, top talents across the club. It's a disaster.
They're going to be popping champagne once they get off this night and get one single goal.
Listen, they give me any FPL points, I will literally celebrate. So where should we go next? I know we want to talk about a couple more things before we transition to the Game Week 5 preview. Any teams jumping off the page?
It's also just painful for you. You get Konza back on your side. He's on the bench and still doubles up his score of 6 compared to Watkins plus Rodgers. They've just been stuck in the mud so bad. So I'm power to you for not having wild carded yet, because those guys have just been utter shite.
Yeah, the fixtures. But maybe Aston Villa are the team to target as the bad fixture, and all these other teams are actually the good ones that I should be, ripping the Villa players out for. Before we get out and go into the Game Week 5 preview, we should talk about the biggest match from game week 4, which was the Manchester Derby. I mean, it's not really a contest right now, even with City in kind of up and down form. I expected Manchester United to really kind of make a go of it this game week, and God, that was a horror show of a performance from Luke Shaw, from Amarin. It just did.
Shaw
I don't know.
Is still
I don't
in
know.
another. Shaw is still in another dimension from Doku, just juking him out of his fucking cleats. Oh,
that was like elder abuse, and I know it's a running joke. If you've been a listener to this podcast for a long time, I had no idea how old Luke Shaw was. Maybe 2 seasons ago, and the guy looks like he's playing in my pickup leagues because he is slow. He can't turn side to side. It's embarrassing. I mean, how is this guy still a Premier League level starter? Yikes, not good.
Well, I would say in this one, Haaland had a couple good chances, then he converted them, and right now, people who started with Haaland and Salah, once again, similar to last year,
flying,
scoring a lot of points, probably having a lot of, if they want to, put a lot of money into defense or got the right DEFCON players and enabled them to have Salah and Haaland alternated the captaincies, you're fucking flying right now. So,
and I think it's like Haaland has like strategy. He has 5 goals, I believe. And he has something like almost 4 XG from open play. And I think Mo Salah has like less than 0.9 XG from open play.
Yeah,
so from a comparison, despite Liverpool clearly having better fixtures, despite Liverpool having much more talent in attack, it's just not clicking for Mo right now. And it's so frustrating as a Salah owner. And, I'm going to be right back in the same position that I'm complaining about right now in game week 5 because I'm not ripping the Band-Aid to take a hit to get Haaland in for Mo. I just don't think it makes sense right now. But the time is ticking for sure. And that switch is probably going to be very popular in due time.
Yeah, we'll discuss that later. We have some questions about Mo in a further section to evaluate. Also want to call it Reinders in this game. 3 shots, XG of 0.4, had one really solid shot that I was hoping was going to go in the back of the net. I think I
thought he was going to ripple the back of the net. I was so excited.
I think he's still a great option to have. We'll see if he's going to be starting UCL as well, but it's, he started every single game that he's been available to Pep, and that's at 5.5 million or whatever he was. Still, I think he's a good shout.
He's very centrally involved.
He's taking a lot of shots.
I mean, if you watch the game, he's shooting, he's arriving at the right time. He really does look like Ilkay Gundogan 2.0. And I think the returns are going to come. So it's that's not a type of player prototype that's going to get a goal and assist each and every game. But he's definitely offering and delivering on the promise of his value.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then Donnarumma had a couple of decent saves, but I do have more confidence in him in his shot stopping than Ederson. So it'll be interesting over the course of time how their defense plays. But this one was kind of weird too. Like they Gvardiol, O'Reilly, and Kusanov playing right back next to Diaz. So it's like I don't know what's going on with their defense for the long term. So I'm just going to be focusing on
a lot of injuries right now in that City team, but they still looked fresher and fitter and just altogether like they had been playing for years longer than this United team has. And I just think it's kind of scary days right now if you're a United fan, because you don't want to keep blaming the coach. You don't want to keep blaming the ownership. You don't want to keep blaming your best players for not showing up. But it's just something in the water at Old Trafford right now because, I mean, Amarin is a very stubborn 3 at the back style manager.
Does he have
this
three more games?
No, it doesn't make any sense.
He might have 3 more games left at the club is some of the rumors going around if they can't get results in 2 out of 3 of those. Like,
I mean, I feel bad for Amarin, but I actually feel worse for diehard fans of the club because this guy's going to leave with a fat check. And the reality is he should do better. He should adjust his system. It's not acceptable that they are at the bottom of the Premier League table. They're 17th place since he joined the club in the middle of last season. So he's behind Wolves, he's behind West Ham. So all these other teams where we say, they are not investing, they are not serious about being competitive. Manchester United are spending a shit ton of money to back this manager. They spent a ton of money to back Ten Hag, and they can't get out of their own way because they're backing the wrong guys very clearly.
Yeah. Other games, just
that was my rant.
quickly.
Sorry.
Let's have your rant about Chelsea for a second here. They blow this match in extra time, so pretty eventful one versus Brentford. And honestly, I mean, Brentford over the last 5 years have always given Chelsea trouble.
Yeah, that away match is a bugaboo kind of derby. It's a hard place to play. I was actually pretty
for Chelsea,
pleased.
What's our head-to-head record versus Brentford? It ain't great.
It's not great, but they've pipped Arsenal a couple times. They pipped Spurs, that opener a couple seasons back. My 2 cents is that I was very proud of the resiliency of Chelsea. They go down 1-0. They were really controlling possession, and then all of a sudden there's a breakaway, and Shad just absolutely clinical, just right into the back of the net. There was no doubt that was a good goal. And Chelsea, methodically play through. They trust the system. They get a goal back through Cole Palmer. Then they get another goal back. They go up. They're now up 2-1. And leaving it late, they really just lost focus for one moment, and that was the difference. And that's the level of the Premier League, where if you are off it for even a 2-minute stretch, anytime in one match, you can just get got by anybody. And Garnacho doesn't track his guy. Listen, I feel like Dango was probably offsides, but Chelsea have gotten our share of VAR potluck already this season, so I'm not going to complain too much. We haven't lost yet.
Very big
That's
of you.
important.
Very big of you, Bucks, to admit that.
In our mini league chats, I will complain plenty, but here I will be the bigger man. And we haven't lost yet, so I think this is going to be a critical week for Chelsea. One, we need to see if Palmer is going to be back fit, because they have a huge away match against Bayern midweek in the Champions League, and then they play away at Manchester United. So I really think for those top teams right now, with European competition starting, this is when we will know who is certain for minutes, and we'll know a lot more, which is why I've been holding my wild card, just because I want to know really who the guys are that are trusted by the key teams in these Premier League matches. So
yeah, totally fair.
Probably going to be a lot of rotation in game week 5 for those teams.
And why did you not force me to get João Pedro again? I went with Wood instead of João Pedro.
I told you I love JP. He's been pretty much in every one of my drafts. He just has so many routes to points. And listen, he got a little lucky. I don't think he even knew Cole Palmer was there when he jumped for the ball. But listen, right now, the way things are falling this FPL season, you just take the points and you laugh.
Yeah, you run away.
Better to laugh than to cry. Yep. Definitely better to laugh than
better
to
be lucky than good. Yeah, all that gobbledygook. All right.
All right, now let's switch gears, because I do want to talk about game week 5. And I think game week 5, listen, if there hasn't been enough FPL pain thus far this season, if you trust the bookies, there might be a lot more clean sheets and a lot more snooze fest matches to watch this coming weekend, because I saw a stat that the expected goals in game week 5 are the lowest that we've seen since, I think it was game week 30 something in 2023. Yuck. Not excited for that whatsoever. I think there's going to be rotation, and there's some difficult matches that we need to talk about here. So let's first talk about the good matches. Are you optimistic, or is any team getting 3 goals in game week 5?
Oh, I'm sure some random team will come through with the goods.
It's going to be like Sunderland, right? Yeah.
I don't know. I could see Chelsea's putting up 3 goals versus Man U's weak defense potentially, but the early fixture is Liverpool versus Everton, 4:30 in the morning out here on the West Coast. Yeah,
I think that's going to be a great match. It's at Anfield, which is important to note. Everton look really, really solid to start the season, and of course, Liverpool, despite their wobbly nature in the course of a 90-minute match, are 4 out of 4, and they're top of the table. They haven't been convincing at all for a 90-minute stretch, but they are getting the 3 points that are necessary. So I think Liverpool have just enough to pip it. I think it's 2-1 to the hosts.
Hi, buddy. If you're watching
Puppy
on
agrees.
YouTube, you just saw
Ziggy
my
is. Get him in
saw
here.
my
Get him in
dog.
the photo. Come on. He could be our
It's
third
too late.
co-host.
It's too late now. He's
Oh no.
staring at me. I mean, I'm still potential on captain Mo because I don't really have great options this week. I was eyeing possibly captaining Watkins in the preseason for this week, and now that's looking pretty shit. I can't trust Wood with the captain's armband. I don't have, any conviction in Bruno, versus Chelsea. So it's kind of like a weird time for me to pick a captain. So have you looked at that at all based on your squad?
Yeah, so you're jumping a little ahead, but the other two matches we do want to talk about are Nottingham Forest at Burnley and Aston Villa at Sunderland. Now, when you were looking at the fixture ticker, kind of in game week 2 or game week 3, when you were making transfers or making moves, you're targeting this fixture run for Nottingham Forest. They have Burnley. They have a really good match in game week 6 as well. Or sorry, they have Burnley here, and then they have a really good match in game week 7 as well. And then Aston Villa, they have Sunderland, and then they have a really good match in game week 6 too. So, I mean, I agree with you. Watkins, he's in my team because I was thinking he was going to be my captain in game week 4. What's frustrating is that right now, Burnley and Sunderland might just be better teams than Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa, and they have the home cooking. So they'll have the support of their home crowd. So specifically Sunderland. I think Sunderland are legit. I think they've shown that they have really done smart investment into the club with the money they got from coming up to the Premier League. This is not going to be a cakewalk fixture for Aston Villa by any means. And so it just muddies the water into kind of who the good picks are. So my thesis right now, I have Mo and Verts. I'm trusting Verts one more game week. I'm trusting Wood and Watkins and Rogers one more game week. But this is the last hurrah saloon for my FPL team right now. So if they don't deliver, they're getting the hook on free hit or on wildcard in game week 6 for sure.
Yeah, especially with City playing Burnley at home in game week 6, you really got to start thinking about shifting your money around and possibly trying to fit in the likes of Holland for game week 6. So
totally. But it's also worth mentioning that Burnley defense, they were one ex-Man United defender mistake away from getting a 0-0 huge point
so cruel
against
so
Liverpool.
Cruel.
Yeah. So I've been pretty impressed with the promoted teams. I think that strategically and from a mentality wise, they came up with the right intention and the right focus. So you got to give them your hat off to that.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious, like Burnley just double park the bus, not to be moved versus Liverpool. How much did that weigh on them? Will they play a more open game when they think Nottingham Forest could be?
I think they're going to think that they can get all 3 points, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, no, but I'm hopeful that Chris Wood will just get a goal. I don't care if they win, but I need Chris Wood to come through here.
Let the guy see 60 minutes and come on, give us a chance here.
Yeah, this was actually, I mean, some sites predicted that he wouldn't start at all because he was traveling back from New Zealand from international duty. So always a risk off the back of international duty when you're his age. I mean, dude's 33, 34, like, that's old. He's not like João Pedro at 25 flying back from Brazil. So anyway, I think the
taking shots at your fellow FPL manager here on the podcast. That's how old we are. We're young bucks.
Speak for yourself, man. Speak for yourself.
My body still feels all right after some pickup ball. Let's go to the best matches in real life. I think this list is short and sweet. 3 games, Chelsea at Manchester United. Now, this is kind of the popcorn fixture. This is for more big fan bases. I think current form, maybe this could go in the other category as a match to target for FPL halls. Chelsea at Manchester United tends to bring out the goals. I think this is my pick for the game that could see 4 or 5 goals, if any.
Oh, wow.
I think Chelsea win 3-1.
Okay, I'll go 2-1 to Chelsea.
Okay,
I'm most excited about Bournemouth hosting Newcastle and seeing if these red hot cherries, they lost so many players year over year, like basically their whole defense, and they're just cruising along. Semenyo's got his fat contract staying at the club and looks to have turned the leaf. I was shocked that he took the pen. I was like, oh, Evanilson, earned the penalty. I thought for sure he was going to take it with Kluivert off the pitch, and then in comes Semenyo. Love to see that.
No, I really actually I saw it very differently. I thought it was always going to be Semenyo because at least with Kluivert not yet match fit, he's so clearly their talisman. Everything is running through Semenyo, and it's his third season in the Premier League. He's 25 now. I mean, I think he's just like kind of pushed open the door to his prime, and he's fully arrived. And he just looks so comfortable in the Premier League, whether he's going against Van Dijk, whether he's going against kind of anybody. He's a massive goal threat, and he's a massive creative threat, just kind of dominating kind of on that wing for Bournemouth. He looks like a serious player. And Newcastle, on the other hand, they're competing with Arsenal as the best defense in the Premier League right now. They have conceded basically nothing. Their defense looks really solid. And, despite some wobbles in the attack or in midfield and some untimely injuries and red cards, I mean, this is a tough game to call. So I know a popular thought is kind of going like a Wirtz or Rodgers to a Semenyo. Kind of don't love it this game week. You agree with that?
That's pretty tough. Pretty tough to call.
You're noodling. You're noodling. What's your prediction for this match?
I like 2-1 to Bournemouth, to be honest. I was impressed with the new German center forward, Woltemade. Great header. He's a tall lad. He's a tall beanstalk. My goodness.
Yeah, you're big when you're looking eye to eye with Dan Burn. Few people can do that in the world, let alone in the Premier League.
Yeah,
I think this is 1-1. I don't think there's a clean sheet here. I don't necessarily even think there's a winner. I think this is a really tight, even match. Last but not least,
are you not worried that Newcastle is playing Barcelona in Champions League on Thursday? That I think you should reevaluate how tired that
no, they're home.
Might be.
They're home for Barcelona.
Okay, but still, you're playing Barcelona on Thursday, and then you have a match on Sunday. That's going to be quite taxing on the defense, I would say. Going up
Barcelona are also, it should be mentioned, not fully fit either. So they're without Yamal. I'm not sure if Lewandowski is fully fit just yet. So it's a good time to play Barcelona right now, but it's a good point. This is something they're going to have to deal with for most of the season, but I think Newcastle have the quality that they should be able to get through.
All right.
It's a good shout out.
Yeah, now that it really kind of blindsided me. It was like, oh, people were like hitting me up, like, oh, are you setting up your fantasy?
I'm that person.
League?
I was like, dude, where are you at?
Our guy Fish dropped into my DMs too. I was like, oh shit, that's tomorrow? Like that crept up on me out of nowhere. So we have hella matches on now. So another wrinkle to see, especially for the rotation and what's going to happen.
A lot of Zoom meetings all of a sudden booked in my
that's right.
weekday afternoons. Let's go to the final match. Right. This is the clear and away heavyweight match of game week 5. That's Manchester City at Arsenal. We wax poetically about how dominant Arsenal defense has been. This will be a real challenge. They nearly passed the test against Liverpool. Now they're going against Haaland, and right now, Haaland is he's a goal-scoring machine. He's always been that, and he's gotten his upgrades, despite maybe the attackers around him not being on the same level. I think this one's a real toughie. I think Arsenal are the favorite, but I think it's close. I think it's 2-1 to the hosts. Could easily be 2-2 or 1-1. What are you predicting?
I think I fancy Arsenal in this one, to be honest. Just go with the home cooking. It's generally low scoring, though. I feel like whenever Arteta plays,
1-1,
they kind of try and grind it. Yeah, like it might come down to a free kick or something. But they got to rely on Doku a lot more than they were planning, since both Cherki and Marmoush are both injured. So you're going to see a heavy dose of him. Can Foden regain his form?
I wouldn't be bothered by that.
Yeah, we've all been waiting to see if he could add some end product to his passing. Obviously, he can take on anybody. He's up there with Kudus in terms of one-on-one take-ons, at least from II. That's, I don't know if it's backed by the stats, but he can obviously get to the byline.
That's my take.
Interesting.
It's not up for debate. He's better than Kudus.
Yeah, Doku doesn't have the work rate, though, that like Kudus puts in on the press and on
different
a
positions.
lot of other
But
things.
yeah, I rate that. One thing I will say, and I think this is something I was thinking about, is, Salah with the early fixture against Everton. If I had both Salah and Haaland in my team, which of course I don't, I would be captaining Haaland. It's the harder
Really?
fixture. Yeah, it's the harder fixture, but he's just so much more involved. And yeah, listen, Mo has penalties and this and that, and Liverpool, they always get the this and the that and the whatever. But, at the end of the day, Haaland is just, you watch these games like we do. Sometimes I'm like, is Mo Salah fucking playing? It's like, what the heck is going on? He's
how many shots
he's
does he
so
have total?
tertiary to everything that's going on in the match until extra time. And it's like, oh yeah, I'll do something for my loyal FPL managers. I'll do something for the Liverpool fans that are here. He's been a fraud to start the season. It needs to be said.
Yeah, you're looking at a Salah and Verts owner, and Verts has been even worse.
Yeah,
even worse.
Yeah,
hasn't even trickled in a side pass for an action.
He has less points than Goodmanson. He's Badmundsson.
Oh, you said it, Bucks. All right, let's jump here to the hashtag FPL community questions. Let's run through the top dilemmas of the game week. Thank you to everyone for engaging with us on social. You know what time it is. It's the mailbag time.
All right, let's go first. Matt, aka my Cayman fan. He's asking, he's stating he stays ready. He's always ready. I like that energy from you, Matt. Who is the bigger priority sell, Verts or Watkins? So I think this is a tough one. You mind if I take this first?
Because I'm in a similar dilemma.
I think you got to hold them one more game week. I know it sucks. It's like these guys, they're taking up 17.5 million of your budget, basically a fifth of your entire team value. The fixtures. You got to just maybe trust the talent. It hurts to say it, but like, who are you transferring Verts to? Who are you transferring Watkins to with a straight 1-to-1 free transfer swap that's getting excited right now? So
yeah, in game week 6, you go Gyökeres, but you don't really want to bring him in right versus City potentially. I think Semenyo is honestly like he's already risen in price by $500,000, but like, I think Verts,
he could be fixture proof, but even the Newcastle game kind of spooks me. I would just wait one more game week and then do a double move to get Haaland in next week.
So how's the math work on that? Yeah, it's like 17 million, 17.5 million.
Watkins to Haaland and Verts to, say, Josh King, something like that. I know it's maybe a little bit off,
short on the money, but yeah, no, that makes sense. I will be holding these players as well. It's just, I'm thinking about wildcard 6 or wildcard 7, so I also want to have some transfers off the back of that, and I've been, making moves left and right, just unhappy with my team. So,
come closer to the mic, Brian. I know it's dark to talk about this. It's hard.
I know. It's just frustrating. I can't believe, Verts gets this big money move and we just see all the goals shared around for everybody but him. So
I will say one thing.
Pass, frustrating.
We both talked about it in the preseason that we were going to do better. So we weren't going to fall into this Nkunku trap. We weren't going to pick Brighton guys. Come game week 1 deadline, we're right back where we started last season. Verts is just the shinier, more expensive Nkunku wearing red versus blue. And yes, he's nailed for minutes. But could this guy do anything when the ball comes to his feet? I mean, a progressive pass, look up and shoot the ball at goal. He is so frustrating right now to own an FPL. And Ollie Watkins, don't even get me started. You are the junkyard mutt right now. This guy is
ass.
He
ain't no dog. He ain't no dog.
No, he's nothing.
Yep.
He's a puppy.
He's not doing well. Yeah, I would give these guys another week. It really depends on your wild card window, though. But when you're looking at Watkins with the likes of Fulham at home and then Burnley at home in 6 and 7, those are kind of big fixtures that you're hoping to get points out of.
Listen, at least we didn't wild card and keep these guys, right? I mean, that would really mess with my mentals. If I wild carded and still had Ollie Watkins, the app would probably not be on my phone anymore. Let's keep it going.
Next question is from @FPL_Nando. Got to get your Nandos.
Nando.
When's the last time you had Nandos, Bucks?
Never. I wasn't really a thing when I was last in the UK. And actually, the last time I was in the UK, it was for work. I didn't do so much late night post bar eating. I did some other shady stuff.
Nando's is a lunchtime spot for me in Australia. We would go have a cheeky Nando's, get the peri peri chicken. Ooh, delicious. Yum. Would have that for lunch every now and then. But it's all about the sauces, man. Give me all these different hot sauces. Love them.
Oh yeah, all right. Got to have some spice in our life.
Yep, getting
not
saucy.
From FPL right now, that's for sure.
He asks, best wildcard window and things to consider when making this decision. Are also, when are you guys planning to play the rest of your chips based on your team? So loosely, I'll just run through my quick strategy here. I'm thinking about wildcard 6 or 7 and then bench boost in game week 8. I really want to get the bench boost done sooner and not wildcard in 13, which is also another window that people are looking at, mainly because I'm really focused on who are Burnley and Leeds assets playing in my team, because I want to have a 4.0 keeper and a 4.0 defender, most likely, or thereabouts. So they actually play each other in game week 8. So I feel like, maybe I can get 6 points from one of those guys. Maybe Rodon comes in with a 4-pointer, Dubravka 6-pointer, and then you're like, all right, I got the makings of a 12 to 15 point bench boost. So that's what I'm looking at for that. I've also seen a lot of people looking at triple captain game week 6 on Haaland versus Burnley at home. I've definitely rate, picking a game week that you just have good vibes on. Honestly, like, you don't have to plan the triple captain at all, and so you can save it for whenever. But I think for triple captaincy, whatever historically I've loved to play it on a midfielder to get that kind of higher ceiling. But right now we're seeing Haaland in good form and playing it at the Etihad, not a bad shout. So Bucks, what about you? What are you thinking for wildcard windows?
Yeah, so initially I was pretty set on wildcard 13. It was right before AFCON, so I'd be able to wait for a couple fixture swings and rack up some free transfers, then get all the free transfers back from AFCON, kind of like 2 wildcards back to back. But right now, unfortunately, FPL is more hell than it is fun for me and for my squad. So that is definitely bumped forward. And Nando, my advice would just be to have fun with the game. Again, I think it's very low likelihood that any of your favorite content creators or yourself are going to win FPL this season or ever. So kind of just
whoa. Take it easy.
Notwithstanding your 533rd spot finish. But listen, I'll just say this, that it's supposed to be fun. The way that I do it is to deepen my enjoyment of watching the Premier League. I'm going to watch the Premier League, so I want it to be a fun experience. And yeah, my team stinks right now, so I'll probably be using a chip pretty soon to solve that. Now, I do want to just mention, you brought up triple captain Haaland at home versus Burnley. And I think that is very much in the ether of being, oh, duh, he's like the robot playing a promoted team. Well, what we just saw from Burnley is that in that match, they're going to play a 5-5 flat, park the bus style. They probably won't even have a guy running towards the defensive half of City. They're just going to be set to frustrate Manchester City in that match. So I actually feel like that match is not the optimal one to target. City will play Wolves. They'll play West Ham. Those teams are a little bit more, maybe they're fooling themselves, but they're a little more ambitious in the way that they set up. And so because of that, I almost like triple captaining Haaland or Salah in one of those games instead. So those are just my 2 cents. I will definitely figure out a way to get Haaland in, probably on free hit or using free transfers. And then I'm eyeing wildcard game week 7. And just to share what Dan is thinking, Dan is very much committed to a game week 6 wildcard. He's been in our group chats about it. He's coming back on the pod to discuss his team for that game week 6 preview. So Again, Nando, we don't have it all figured out just yet, but we're definitely starting to get to the point of getting itchy fingers when it comes to pressing some of those power-up buttons.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're not going to be wildcarding sooner, Bucks. If I had triple Villa stank all over my face and right on my upper lip, that stank that you're having, That would be
Well,
rough.
unfortunately, I have this SAR injury. When I brought in SAR and Wood, I kind of talked myself that maybe I would bench boost this week. But SAR to it just feels wrong right now. So I'm gonna just keep probably like floating in purgatory here in the multi-million ranks.
Yep,
And hopefully from game week 8 to 14, I could really get a nice string of green arrows to kind of make myself feel a little bit better about myself. Ego boost.
And I just to end that loop, I think that because we're getting those 5 free transfers after game week 15, I just don't love why wait until game week 13 to wildcard? Why not do it sooner, and then knowing you also have this get out of jail free card that the FPL Towers gave us for later on, and navigate this 10-week window where you'll be able to make transfers, wild card, bench boost. Because I know 100%, I do not want to be wild card in game week 13 and then bench boosting and then be in the holiday fixture pileup where you're just absolutely fucked because you have money in your bench, but then
you have 5 free transfers to sell all those guys out.
Yeah, I just think when the time comes, you're going to want those heavy hitters who are the heavy hitting players during that time frame are going to be racking up all the X minutes and
perhaps.
Yeah,
I will say one thing that just we follow Ben Krellen pretty closely here. He's the best in predicting the blank and double game weeks. He's almost a must follow just to know how the Premier League schedule is shaping up towards the second half and the festive fixture period. If you're a serious FPL manager, quick free shout out to you, Ben. You do great work for the FPL community. Now, he was saying that based on some of the League Cup results today, that actually blank game week, I think it was 16, and double game week 18's odds went way down. So that was part of the reason that I kind of had convinced myself, listen, if there's a blank game week, there's a double game week, I get the wild card and kind of set myself up perfect. If that's going out the window, then I totally buy into what you just said, that sooner is better for a wild card. But again, I think we should just make sure we're in a position where you've lined up a couple bank transfers just in case everything goes to shit on your wild card. You're not absolutely stuck and feeling like, all right, it's just time to delete the game. That's not how we want any of our listeners to play the FPL game. Is that fair?
Sounds fair to me.
All right, next up, let's go to Hella_FPL. That's another Brian. I like to think he's the better Brian.
Other Brian.
Maybe you're both not quite as cool as the bald eagle himself, evil Brian Mbomo. But listen, Brian, you both contribute more to this podcast, so we appreciate you. He's asking the best defender 5 million or lower to complete his bench boost. He's going to wildcard in game week 6 straight after game week 5. And currently his bench is Dubravka, Jorginho Rudder, KDH, and he has an Ola Aina-sized problem as his third bench position. Brian, you want to take this first?
I like the bench boost shout, get rid of it. I think Dewsbury Hall probably has a nice 4-pointer in him in that Liverpool match if he's hustling a lot, getting some DEFCON, maybe gets lucky with a set piece.
Liverpool, you can get a goal against Liverpool, so I
like this. Yeah, I think whenever I bench boost, I want to have one attacker that has some upside. So for clean sheets, I mean, just pulling up at Rob TFPL, looking at some of the clean sheet odds. Funnily enough, we see Liverpool with the highest clean sheet percentage at 39. I don't know if I see a clean there. NFO versus Burnley. The NFO has not kept it clean. Are they due, or is Ange Ball going to persist and they're going to be wide open? That's probably a wait and see. And so then
it's
you're
an away match too. I don't love that.
Yeah, then you're looking at the likes of Wolves and Leeds both have about 30% clean sheet odds facing each other. Eesh, this is pretty dire here. Man, I really rate Anderson at Fulham. If you want to just downgrade, and Fulham are hosting Brentford, that's a high floor defender pick. I don't see Brentford scoring multiple goals in that one. So getting a 4-pointer out of Anderson on bench boost, that sounds pretty strong. But if you want to go for more upside, I don't know who else do you like, Bucks?
I was gonna say, maybe the move is to pick the Sunderland guy, that Ray Nildo at 4 million. He plays Villa. Villa don't know how to score goals, so
but he's got over 5 million and he's wildcarding the next week, right? So he doesn't need that money in his bank. So he wants to get
that's fair.
a
Okay,
better
that's
player,
good.
right?
Good clarification. My bad on that.
Yeah.
All right, so you know what I like? Go with the Chelsea guy. Maybe go Chalobah. I think is 5 million. Perfect.
Away. Yeah.
Manchester United stink. I also don't hate Spurs. The issue is if you go Spurs, you're playing him against Jorginho Rudder, and he's on your bench boost also. So
yeah, I mean LaCroix. I think LaCroix playing at West Ham, that's got good DEFCON opportunity and opportunity for a clean sheet. So I don't hate that.
Yeah, I think that's probably the one. That's a pretty, so far the one you shouted out. I like that one the most.
Yeah,
I also like Livramento. But again, you made a great point.
Bournemouth.
That with Newcastle playing twice and Bournemouth only playing in the League Cup, maybe even this Diakite guy, or I'm on Trafford. I mean Trafford. He's one of the good truffles.
Man? I don't know.
Yeah, he's like the good box of chocolate that I have right now, and I think he's going to come good with an attacking return one of these days. So he's coming for a haul. It's coming.
Okay. All right.
So maybe you're saying if you think Bournemouth are going to win that game, right, and Newcastle are going to be tired, maybe the obvious answer is just Senesi, just to fully bear this out.
Yeah.
4.6 million, DEFCON monster, nailed starter.
Yeah. I think I'd probably lean LaCroix or Richards instead, just based on West Ham being pretty shit. But yeah, some decent options. Good luck with your bench boost. Let's keep it moving to a couple other questions. Hugo wants to know what to do with Salah. We've talked about it quite a bit already. He's just a firm hold right now. He's just a firm hold, but definitely, we're monitoring it very closely.
He's on notice.
And
this guy,
yeah, I mean, that's why I love rolling this week. So you have 2 free transfers. So if you don't use a chip, that you could just switch him to get Holland in game week 6 when they play home against Burnley. It's great to have 2
that's
frees.
my
you
thinking.
Can do it. Yep. So I think that's a
and
great
it's
option.
Worth mentioning that, right? Kings don't live forever, and so there might.
You're trying to put the Egyptian in the sarcophagus? Come on, Bucks. That's dangerous business. Dangerous business.
We might need to build a new FPL pyramid. The way this start of the season is going for one Mo Salah.
You're going to have some curses coming your way, so let's pump the brakes a little bit on
the wrath of Ra is coming for me.
Damn. All right, next up we have another question. Are Manchester United assets any good? Bumo and Fernandez. That's also a question from Hugo. I would if you have one, keep them. If you don't have any, don't go for anybody. We're expecting a potential manager change here in the next month.
They're a total cross-off until they switch the manager or they put their best players in their best positions. I mean, why is Bruno playing deep lying 8 or 6 when he should be playing the number 10 role in Cunha's absence? Why is Mbomo, if Sesko isn't starting, why isn't Mbomo playing as the striker? I mean, this team just makes no sense right now. So they're a clear cross-off. They're nowhere close to my watch list right now. And it punished me in game week 3 that I just did not believe that they were going to do it. And honestly, they really shouldn't have done it. Burnley should have gotten at least a draw on that one too. So, yeah. There will be better days ahead if you're a Manchester United supporter where you'll be able to, rock your players in your FPL squad with pride. But maybe it's not going to be game week 5.
All right. Lastly, we have FPL Barrister, aka Jeremy, who is the best Liverpool attacker, not from Egypt until AFCON. I mean, they're just spreading the goals around. I'm very uncertain on who I would go for.
It's not the 2 that we have. It's not Salah or Verts. That's for sure.
Well, and for this question, not from Egypt, so we're not going to go with Salah. But do you like Gakpo starting left wing? Do you think that
it's just there's too much uncertainty right now? Yeah, I mean, I've been really impressed with Ekitike. I think he provides a really solid option in that forward spot. And again, he's a flexible future move. If you need to move him to, say, Gyökeres in game week 7, that really sets you up nicely. The issue is kind of that bugaboo of Isak he's looming. He's going to play. and he's going to be nailed once he starts playing. So, in my opinion, I voiced this before on our podcast. I think the nailed setup for big matches will be Isak up top, Ekitike on the left, Wirtz in the middle, and Salah on the right. I know many Liverpool managers think I am ridiculous there and that Ekitike will be the one that's sacrificed because Gakpo he works really well with the other players on that left wing spot.
It's mature and
too much uncertainty.
Yeah.
I think the UCL match will tell us a lot, though. They play Atletico Madrid, I believe. It's either tomorrow or on Thursday. So based on what that lineup looks like, and if Isak is even in the squad, we will have a lot more to noodle on before the Game Week 5 deadline.
Yeah, for me, I just think it's easier to sell into Ekitike as the player to be playing and starting a lot of the cup matches up top versus Gakpo's mature 25, 26-year-old, been in the Premier League for a while. I think he just probably will offer more on the left wing in terms of Arne Slot's trust. So I expect Gakpo is probably the player that I would go for.
That's where we disagree. Yeah, I know.
Yep.
I know. It's all good.
Yep, cool. All right, that's it. Thank you very much for engaging with us on those FPL community questions. Bucks, let's talk about our transfer plans and captaincy shouts. And then we're off to dinner.
On the spot. Oh, man, I got this beautiful grilled chicken Caesar salad wrap. It's just staring me down right now.
That sounds good. I gotta sort out dinner still. That sounds good.
It's almost like Salah was staring down that penalty he took against Burnley. He was like, I haven't done anything to deserve this, but I'm going to eat it.
You rocking the grilled chicken, or are you going for the full fat, like chicken
grilled
finger style?
Chicken, baby. I'm trying trying to get this winter body in shape. Ooh.
All right, what are you doing with your moves? Anything?
In all seriousness, I am as plain vanilla as it could be. It is so boring. I'm snoring. I'm gonna roll, and I'm gonna captain Mo Salah.
Okay.
I'm very tempted. I plan to come on here and blow your mind a little bit, but then I looked at it. I looked at the projections. I was thinking maybe Sar to whatever. I'm not doing it. So let's.
Yep,
I was Sar to Dango, Wirtz to Semenyo, kind of take a hit, bench boost. I'm not doing that. I'm just easy peasy. Just roll, be boring, and I'll fix the team in Game Week 6.
I like it. You want to have that flexibility in Game Week 6 because you don't have to commit to a chip if you can still get Holland in potentially.
I have triple Villa. I'm pretty committed to a chip.
Yeah. Okay. I am also.
Don't brush that off, bro. I mean, you're the one that pushed me off VDV to get Kanza. I mean, I'm the big idiot at the end of the day who made the moves.
I would never I never shouted out Kanza, but I was definitely like, why you tripled up? I definitely slagged VDV for sure, though. But
I would goodness.
Those picks. Anderson is the one. Where is he?
No, he's uninspiring. He doesn't make it move, so to speak.
10 points. Oof, juicy. All right, so yuck. I'm in a spot where I'm trying to figure out who I'm going to bench because I have Nico Williams away at Burnley.
You got to start.
LaCroix away at West Ham. Pedro Porro away at Brighton. And then Anderson home to Brentford. So
start all four of them and bench Rangers.
Yeah, that's definitely something I could do.
That's probably the move. And that's something that seriously is part of why I'm just not going to take a hit right now, because my sense is that what's not being talked about enough in the FPL community is that we should not be always playing 7 attackers. I think that is very much against the wisdom of the last 3, 4, and 5 FPL seasons. But the defenders are just offering outsized value right now. And so, like we saw in some of these free hit teams, going 5 at the back feels wrong. But God, when you get the points at the end of the week, it feels great. I want that. I mean,
if Nottingham Forest are ever going to get right, it's got to be versus Burnley. Even though it's got to start them.
That's the real issue. And I'm having the same problem with Villa, right? I mean, I have those guys for this Sunderland fixture. I have to start them. I'm not benching Rodgers when Reindeer and Sar's injured and Reindeer as Arsenal. I have to go back to the well one more week. Got it.
Fair. Fair. I will definitely consider benching Rangers versus Arsenal, which I think is just, like we talked about before, the best defense in the world. So that's a wrap for us, Bucks. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Let's thank
Follow us on
the
social.
people.
Yeah, follow us on social, FPL USA Press Play. We are on X, we are on Blue Sky, we're on IG, we're on YouTube now. We're really leaning into our video production. Brian and Dan are crushing it on that front. I'm still getting used to being a social media personality. I have 3 kids. Leave me alone. You can follow me. I'm FPL USA Bucks. I'm doing Bucks' 2 cents before every game week. We are also doing our team reveals. Brian, he's amazing at engagement. He's at FPL USA Brian. And Dan, aka FPL _ Black Wolf. He's the he's the hashtag FPL USA champion. He's the president of our humble stateside community. And unfortunately, he's a Wolves fan. So commiserations to Dan. We still love you. You're awesome. And this has been another great episode of the FPL USA Press Play.
Yep, we'll see Dan on next week's pod previewing his wild card and lots more to come. So best of luck, everyone. Make sure to wait for team news. We have Champions League fixtures tomorrow, which is Wednesday and Thursday as well. So lots of action coming fast and furious. We'll see you on the other side.